Okay, so I've got my regulator rectifier in the mail. This is it here, and this replaces the old regulator and rectifier, so I can do away with these now. That should tidy things up a bit. So I need to mount this on the bike now. They get pretty hot, hence the fins. So what I'm thinking is I'll mount it up in under the battery box here so it gets plenty of airflow. And I'll give it a bit of an air gap as well so it doesn't heat up the battery. So that's the job for today. Also, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to make up mounts for the safety relay, the starter solenoid, and I'm going to replace this funky looking fuse. I've never seen one like this before, but whatever, I'll replace that. And the only other thing I need to do before I paint is make mounts for the rear indicators. I'm thinking I'll put a tab off the bottom here and I'll mount this up there like that, so it's in nice and tight to the bike, but it's still fairly visible to anyone behind you. So that's the plan. Okay, so here's all the electrics, well, all mounted up anyway. So we've got the regulator rectifier on the bottom. You can see the air gap in between itself and the battery box, so it won't heat up the battery. We've got the safety solenoid over one side and the starter solenoid over the other. So the wire's stuffed in the battery box at the moment just to get them out of the way, but you can see it from the top. Happy with that. So all you can see on that side is the head of one bolt. And over the other side, there's nothing at all. Okay, so now all I've got to do is make up some brackets for the indicators, weld them on the back, and it's ready for paint. Okay, so the indicators are mounted now, tucked away nicely. Pretty happy with that. Now we're ready for paint. Alright, so here's the frame, all cleaned up, ready for paint. The paint I'm using is VHT high temperature caliper paint. I really wanted the VHT roll bar and chassis paint based off the recommendations of a guy who's got a channel in Texas called Classic Octane. I really like the finish he gets on his bikes. But unfortunately I couldn't get any on short notice and I really want to paint this now. So I'm using the caliper paint. I figure it's pretty hard wearing, it's the right colour, it's satin black. So it should be fine. I'm not priming it. The instructions on the can don't say to use primer, so I'm not going to do it. And we'll just see how it looks. So here's one of my dodgier efforts. The can said to bake it for an hour at 93 degrees C. I don't have an oven that big, so I figure if I just chuck it on top of the pot belly, stoke it up, it's got to get to at least 93 degrees Celsius. So I'll just rotate it around, get it as warm as I can and hope it does the trick.